Testing live microphone,
Oh,
three,
yes.
2, and 1.
All right, live microphone.
My mic sounds nice.
Hey.
Check 1.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, I don't know if we're going to say good afternoon because I don't know what time you be listening. This joint is uploaded at midnight. So, welcome to On One with Angela Rye. As April Ryan's phone goes off, she is my guest today, and she's been properly briefed. This is a Sophistiratchet podcast, so we're going to talk about
Sophistiratchet.
Yes, we're going to talk about politics through our, pop culture lens. We tend to set the culture, April.
Yes.
So we are going to just talk to you about so much. But first, I just want to say I'm just thankful because I've adopted you as a sister and a friend, I think, over the course of the last year, much more so from a distance before. And it's just been amazing to watch you as one of the sheroes in this time.
Thank you, because thank you for your support of me, because I heard when things started going crazy, you were like up on scene and no, let me tell you something. I said, oh my God. So I was like, wow. And that touched my heart, because when I go to YouTube to find stuff about that incident, you always pop up. And I was like, wow. I said, that really touches you, when people of your stature think highly of me. And, highly of me, when I say highly of me, we're sitting in my town.
Yes, Baltimore.
Looking right at Camden Yards. I remember when they started building Camden Yards. I remember when they built the convention center. So you're in my town. I'm a kid from Baltimore who never expected that I'd be questioning 4 presidents.
Yes.
And, feels good talking to you right here.
I love that. And one of the things that I think is so important, I do want to talk about your career, which has been amazing, and you've inspired so many of us. But I think that I want to start first with like sisterhood and what that really means, as you chuckle, because you might know where this is going. But I think it's really important, because one of the questions, and I'm sure you hear this so often, that young women ask is like, why do Black women get in each other's way? And that's not been my experience overwhelmingly. There's been a small minority, but I want to know what your thoughts are on that, given the space that you're in and the ways in which you blaze trails.
I just do what I do. I don't look at it. And I heard someone introduce me one day saying that I was ambitious. No, I'm not ambitious. I love the field that I'm in, and I just do it. And it's amazing to me, after 20 years of asking questions, people are saying, oh, you deserve this accolade. I wasn't doing it for an accolade.
Yeah.
I just asked questions, and to hear the outpouring. And when you say sister girls get in each other's way, unfortunately, it's true. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes we don't have a sense of self. Sometimes we are beaten down. Sometimes we don't know who we are. And you have to find yourself to understand, sister girl has that, but I've got this.
Yeah.
Or I learned a long time ago, anything that so-and-so has, all I got to do is work and I'll have it. And I don't like the cattiness. I don't like us putting each other down. I believe we have to all come together, because the world is going to come after us. And I think if we can come together, we can strike a mighty blow together. And each one of us pulling each other down, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And again, we're from Baltimore. I'm from Baltimore. We're here in my city. We have a thing called crabs in a barrel. There's a saying called crabs in a barrel. And it's true. You see, and they say, I hear it, it's in the islands as well. They say it too. But if you notice, if you have a barrel of crabs or a bushel of crabs, and if they're alive, when one tries to get out, there's another one with that claw that'll bring it back down. And I don't like that, because when one rises, the other rises. I get so much inspiration from seeing a Kamala Harris, from seeing First Lady Michelle Obama, from seeing a Valerie Jarrett. And let's talk on the Republican side, from seeing a Condi Rice, and other women. Condoleezza Rice, first African-American Secretary of State. Yeah, you may say she's a Republican, but guess what? And I don't even like those labels. We've gotten into these labels now, because these party labels, and it's like us against them. What happened? When did this happen? I'm friends with everybody. I don't care race, gender, party affiliation, but we've got to stop as women pulling each other down. We've got to stop as people pulling each other down. I think it's terrible. We're in a place right now that we need one another.
Yeah. But April, the other piece of this is you've written 2 books. One of them has been about your experience in the press briefing room, and you talked about already having spent time with 4 U.S. presidents, and being, again, I've said this often on air, being our only voice, sometimes our only representation to ensure that our issues are addressed with these 4 sitting presidents. Tell us the names of your books so people can pick them up. She's multitasking.
I know. The nanny, I just got a nanny. I'm like, what's going on? She just called. If you heard the vibration on the phone.
Didn't even hear.
Yeah. No, the first book is The Presidency in Black and White, my up-close view of 3 presidents and race in America. It's been updated. We've got a new epilogue in there. It's now The Presidency in Black and White, my up-close view of 4 presidents.
You're not going to do one? That's the remix called The Presidency in Orange?
Wait. Stop. The Presidency in Orange. The remix. Okay.
The remix.
Orange is the new black.
Yeah. No, Orange is the new white. He doesn't get to have the black card. He doesn't even like y'all like that.
Like y'all, you're not.
Yeah, me too. But I'm just saying,
okay.
you're not checking me out. You're not.
No, so here's the deal. We did the update, and then it's in paperback now. So, but then I have the second book that's out now at Mama's Knee, Mothers and Race in Black and White. But the next book, it's coming. It's not going to be titled Orange, anything with orange, but it's going to be about this president and a contrast.
Don't need any title hints.
I don't want to give out the title, but what? Give me a title.
It needs to be y'all's president. ...
Y'all's president.
Yeah, that's what I would call it. That's what I'm always saying.
No, let's
y'all's
do the
president.
Angela Rye. Boy, bye.
That's Beyonce. I just borrowed from Beyonce.
Girl, okay. But look, you have coined. Look, there is a new. Okay, there's Beyonce, and then there's Angela Rye. Boy, bye.
You're nuts. Okay, so now, April, we have to talk about all the shady moments, but I gotta wait till you done texting your nanny because I need
she called me. I'm scared because she never reached out to me.
You want to wait till we can pause all this?
Pause it. Let me. Okay. Yeah, because
I'm not gonna. They can just cut this out. Podcast because April Ryan is always multitasking, and just now she had a mama moment.
I had a mama moment. My daughter wanted her little girlfriend to come. See,
I can't wait till I have mama moments.
Oh, it's going to be wonderful, but you breathe through it because, honey, they try you at the worst time. It's like the phone will ring. You're doing an interview with the President of the United States, and it's like buzzing. I'm like, what in the world is them? I'm like, oh my gosh. You can be anywhere in the world. I'm like, Mommy, where are the Cheetos? Mommy, I'm like, what? It's like, I can't find the remote control. I'm like, sit down. I'll call you back in a minute.
So, April, speaking of Cheetos, what I was going to ask you about.
I'm not supposed to laugh. I'm not supposed to laugh.
You were not laughing. That was just, you had a cough and it sounded like a laugh. Now that was a laugh. So you in the Trump administration, here you are, like gold star standard for journalism, but you've been put in a position where it's you versus them. And not once, not twice, but 3 times. We're going to hit every three.
I'm not warring on them.
No, I know. But this is what happens when you live in on an alternative universe or whatever.
I am not warring on them.
No, I know you're not.
They're warring on me, and I'm just like,
So let's talk about these wars, all 3 wars. So the first one, during Black History Month, Omarosa, who is our only skin folk in the White House, but doesn't sit in the White House. She sits in EEOB. If you don't know what that is.
Out too?
Oh yes, boo. Okay. So when you look that up, you'll check for that EEOB. You'll find out that she does not sit in the White House.
She used to have. I heard she had an office that she shared with people, and she with her major salary that she had, she shared an office with people.
Oh wait, who are you talking about, April?
Who? I'm just reporting the facts.
Who said that? So
no. You can no. You can look that up. You can really look that up.
But we're talking about Omarosa, who was a friend of April's, and then she came for your throat, April. What happened? Why did she come for your?
No, she came for my back, my throat, my eyeballs. She tried to pull the hair out.
What happened?
She tried to put bamboo shoots up my nails.
Do you watch Basketball Wives?
No.
Oh, I do. It sounded like Basketball Wives.
Really?
When I was reading about it. Yeah. So I'm trying to understand why. Like, weren't you supposed to be in her wedding?
Girl. Yes.
Look, hell. Like, what you mean? What you mean? So
Okay.
what happened?
Okay, let's backtrack. Okay, so, and I don't like talking about this.
I'm sorry, but you have to. You have to do this for the culture.
I've purged.
You set free.
I'm set free.
You can be free
I am
still, but I
free
still need you.
I'm free indeed.
Hallelujah, but I still need you to talk about that.
So let me say this, okay, without giving too much tea, spilling too much tea, because it's going to be in the next book.
Oh, come on.
Next book.
Not
only next book. I mean, seriously, Angela, you don't know where this could actually go, because I have to really be careful.
Yeah.
Because this is serious.
Yeah.
So what I can tell you, I mean, and you'll understand the seriousness of this. So what I can tell you, yeah, we were friends. Back 20 years ago, she used to work in Al Gore's office.
Yes.
She used to call me for when Al Gore wanted to talk to me, and I would interview him. So our friendship evolved, and we became friends. And I never paid attention because I knew her prior to, or I thought I knew her prior to, and I never had that. But all throughout, and when she was on Apprentice, I was so happy for her. But we weren't like girls then, but we were good. It was like, hey, what's up? How you doing?
Sure.
But I was so proud of her. But then when I saw her, I was like, that's not the Omarosa I know on The Apprentice. But she grew to that fame, and she used to always tell me, that's for TV, that's for TV. And, I got to know Mom. She met my, dad up in her church, so... And I was like, oh my God. And I would tell her sometimes, she was, I'm like, being a minister. I mean, I knew Michael, we had talked. She invited me to the funeral, and that was around the time of the dancing, and it was just too much going on.
Sure.
And I didn't go, and it just broke my heart when he passed. And I was happy for her. She found love. She wanted me to be on that TV One show, Looking for Love. But my company was like, no, you don't need to be on it. Mm-hmm. I said, okay, fine. And I told her, and she wanted me to come out, and I was going to do it, but it did not look right. It wasn't good for me to do something like that. And I understood. Although it just so happens I do know a couple of people on reality TV because I went to school with them, like Sharice Jackson from Housewives of Potomac.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Pastor Bryant's ex-wife, So, just living, you get to know people.
Sure.
Omarosa, I knew Omarosa through living and working. So it wasn't like I'm like at a party like, oh, I want to get to know you. You know these people. So that sets the stage there where you think you know.
Yeah.
Okay. So fast forward. So we, I could be, how this happens. You're at an event. Oh, she's at an event. Hey, let's hang out, or, you both of you going to the same, somebody wants you to come for something. So we'd hang out. We got closer and we got closer. So last year, when she was, at first it was like, it was cool. We talked. Like, well, she said, I'm with Donald Trump. I said, oh, are you sure? She said, well, yeah. And, we talked. But then,
I saw y'all hanging out after he announced and after she was no longer ready for Hillary doing those fundraisers when she transitioned to the Republican Party. I saw y'all.
We were at Nan.
I was shocked. You weren't at Nan this year. That was last year.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
You was mad at me last year because I threw shade at your girl. You was like,
no, we were laughing. I was like, Omarosa, did you hear that? I was like, Angela's coming after you. Angela,
no, you guys, I'm for the record, on the record, April was not this warm to me before. She was like,
no, I wasn't.
For your girl. You was
you
riding for your girl.
No.
April.
No, oh, Angela.
No, we were always cordial, but now we're like,
no, but see, no,
like ride or die.
But you know what the problem is? I think
that?
My thing is with a friend, I'm going to be like, I'm going to have friends, but I'm going to be like, this is my friend. Let's try to get along.
Yeah.
That's how I am.
Yeah.
But people all around will tell me, you know. And I'm like, but y'all don't know, But I learned something.
Yeah.
When you hear it, believe it.
So what was the tipping point?
Okay,
you see in the paper it talks about the screaming match. They had y'all sounding like you was in basketball wives.
No.
Okay, so what happened?
So that was April. okay, that we were together that April.
Yep.
At Nan.
Last April, the
Last
2016.
April, yeah, at Nan.
Yes.
And you were going off. You were on that stage. I know that's you. And I leaned back and I remember because I was sitting next to Armstrong and he was acting crazy too. It was like, and I'm friends with Armstrong.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it was like just it was a lot
happening.
And actually that day I was like, Omarosa, when she and this is something that you don't know and it still stuck out. She's supposed to be bold for Trump, but that day she said, and the Lord put me here.
No.
Remember she was saying all that?
No, she did the same thing at this year's NAN convention, and I had to slice her again. Yeah, because she went in there lying to these people talking about, I know who signs my checks. And
the American taxpayer signs her tax.
You better tell somebody.
The American taxpayer. And that's the problem when you reach the highest levels of power. It's not about your power. It's about how you serve people.
Yes.
Your checks are coming from my tax dollars.
Regardless of whether you're a Democrat or Republican.
Who signs her check? It's every American. That $180,000 she gets does not come from Donald Trump.
That's right.
He allows her to stay. Sure. It is from every American person. So anyway, moving on. Oh, child, don't get me started.
So y'all were not screaming like they said in the paper. Y'all wasn't screaming.
I'm not saying that. Let me take you down the road so you'll understand.
April, we got 2 more scenarios to run. You talking about how long this podcast is?
You wanted to know?
I know. I do want to know.
Okay, so here's what happened. So fast forwarding. So we were there in April. So during the summer, she had asked me to be in her wedding. She sent me this email, and I would like to show it to you too. She sent me this email. He asked
receipts. That's called #receipts.
Yeah. He said, it said something. He asked me, and I said, yes. Now I'm asking you. And she wanted me to be in her wedding, and I never really gave her an answer because I'm like, I just didn't feel right about it because I saw a different Omarosa. I saw this person who was on TV and just, I didn't like how it was going on. And I'm like, you're my friend. And we would have knockdown, drag out fights on the phone about the stuff.
Sure.
And I remember when Chicago happened, when they had to pull him off the stage?
Yes.
That morning, I think she said something on the road, and I said, you need to stop. I said, because you're helping to create an atmosphere that I feel. What do you mean? I said, no. And we would I'm telling you, and yes, she was my friend, but people don't realize what was going on back, you know. I said, I'm still a member of the Black community.
Yes.
And I said, you gotta stop. No. I said, you gotta stop. I said, you don't feel this, you don't see this. And that night, what happened? They pulled, somebody jumped, and she called me, she said, April, she said, I don't know if you have a premonition or whatever. She said, but you were right. I said, what your candidate needs to do is go on TV and express something. I said, because all of this, we made America and all these codes. I said, people are having a problem. She said, what do you mean? And then so he went on there. And then when he went on there, I heard him say, yes, and we made America. I said, oh my God. He went, I don't know if it was Fox or whatever, but he actually, I thought he was going on to calm it down. It just kind of stirred it up, amped it up. Yeah. So I was not feeling good then. And I said, I as a Black person, it's not about party.
That's right.
It wasn't about party. I'm saying I didn't feel good. So come to find out from one of her friends later on that the campaign was not happy with our alleged friendship. Wow. And they saw things that I was, because they watched my Twitter and they watch my social media still to this day.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you later about it. So they were chastising her about our friendship. So she was finding a way, I'm finding out, to break the friendship off. So mind you, yeah.
What?
So wait a minute. So this is what
sounds like reality TV.
But that's the problem.
Oh my God.
But see, but wait a minute. So I think she was trying to find a way to break the friendship, I think. But people were telling me, her friends were telling me the campaign was getting in her stuff about her relationship with me and what I was saying about the president-elect or the presidential candidate at that time. So next thing you know, now here she's asking me to be in her wedding. And then in October, around October the 10th, she sends me an email saying, I am sorry to see this. My name, along with other reporters, we were in WikiLeaks because as you know, I emailed the Trump campaign, what's his name?
Sanders,
Rand Paul,
campaign,
Sanders, all of them.
You have a job to do.
Yes. What do you want? What do you think is the highlighting piece out of your speech or something? I would ask all of them, so I would focus on that and look at other things. I want to hear what you think is big.
Right.
So I'm in that, and she's like, oh, it makes me upset that your integrity is questioned. But then come to find out, she's running around telling our mutual friends, who ultimately told me later, they had to talk her down because she was trying to say at that time I was taking money. It was saying I was taking money from Hillary Clinton. I said, are you kidding me?
Lord.
When that happened, I was done.
Sure.
Because I said, are you kidding me? I said, where in this article does it say I'm taking money? So she's running around
But they
telling
don't read. They don't know. They don't read.
But wait a minute. So she's running around telling our friends this.
Mm-hmm.
So she's putting this rumor out. One of her girls calls me, who's an attorney. I'm on the set of Meet the Press, and I'm like, why am I getting this call? So I call her during the break. She said, oh, girl, everybody's talking. I said, no, everybody's not talking about it. It's Omarosa talking about it. I said, she said, well, I'll represent. I said, girl, I said, why do I need an attorney? And so thank God I had the presence of mind to say, I don't need an attorney. But imagine if I would have said, I'll need an attorney, Omarosa would have been like, oh, and she got an attorney because she did something wrong.
Absolutely.
So it's nothing but God. Mm-hmm. But I don't need it because I didn't do anything wrong. But I guarantee you, after all of this brouhaha, after the fight in the office, because we were screaming, she was screaming to the top of her lungs, and so was I. It was almost as if she wanted the president to hear it. It was that bad.
Oh my God.
And then not only that, she taped it and edited the piece.
No, she didn't.
Oh yes, this is why I'm saying.
Where's the tape?
Wait a minute. Wait, you haven't read what you think you read. So this is why I'm telling you I can't say much. It is what she did. She had somebody. No, she sent it according to Dylan Byers on CNN Money, and she sent it to John Roberts at Fox. She sent the tape of 4 minutes of about 20 or 30-minute argument. I embarrassed her in front of reporters and people in that office. She got upset. I was leaning up against Sean's office because I was done with her because I made mincemeat of her. From the point where I said, look, I was here when you got fired the last time, and I'll be here when you get fired this time. And for the point where she's talking about, and that's why you take money from Hillary Clinton. I said, you keep saying that, I'm going to sue you. I said, honey, maybe I should take money from Hillary Clinton because the money is long. I said, but let me tell you something. I said, at least, I've been making money. I said, I've been working all my life. I said, I've written books. I go speak. I said, I don't need that money. I said, but I'm going to tell you something. I've been doing well.
Then reading became a developed form where it became shade. Shade is...
I said, but what were you doing last year? Nothing but selling cell phones. So let me tell you something.
God.
It was that bad. But wait a minute. You need my sister on her home phone. So anyway, yes.
And we're talking about shade.
And that's shade.
No shade to anybody that sells cell phones.
See, now I got you. Don't ask for something you ain't ready to handle, Miss Angela Wilde.
Oh, she wasn't ready. She wasn't ready.
Okay, well, there's just two more scenarios we have to talk about.
I don't think you're able to handle. You're not able to handle this crown, baby.
Oh,
the weight
God.
of the crown is heavy.
I love it. This is fantastic.
The weight of the crown is heavy.
April, y'all see her with this cup like she's sipping tea.
And I almost fell out the chair.
Wait, don't fall out. Don't fall out because I ain't over there to catch you. Normally, I'd have your back, as you know. So we're going to actually play the sound bites in a much more polished way, but I have two more things to run by you. Just a couple of days after your Omarosa conflict was reported.
And that's why I
know.
never looked at it as racial, because I thought it was more sinister.
Oh no. They can be both. It's called At the Same Damn Time, April.
Right, but I'm sure he heard it.
Of course, but even if he didn't hear it, he heard her version. So Donald Trump, a couple of days later, tells April Ryan.
A week later.
Oh, okay. But it was a couple of days after it was reported, though.
But it was a week later. Okay, so that happened the week before.
Okay.
The Omarosa thing happened the week before, and then it was about 5, 6, 7 days.
Okay, so but April, this is how April celebrating her Black History Month. No, go ahead.
The Washington Post said to me, they said, April, we heard that there's a fight, and they said too many people witnessed it and have called us. We're going to report on it.
Yeah.
And the reason why we got into that fight is because she's running around telling Sean Spicer Spicer not to call on me. She's calling other people, newsmakers, sources that I talked to, telling them I said things. She's trolling on my Twitter, watching my Twitter and talking about all this stuff and calling newsmakers, telling them I said something that I didn't say. I said, go on Twitter and see what I said. And I even told her, she said, I said that the president should be impeached. I said, go on Twitter. I said, did I say the president was supposed to be impeached? I said, this is what a congressperson said. You have to wait. It's too soon. I said, why would you say I said I reported that on Twitter.
I told you they don't read. So this is what happens.
No. It's called spin.
Spin. But
she wanted to kill my career.
Well, she was not successful because no weapon formed.
I shouldn't even be talking like this.
The preacher in me says no weapon formed. Now here's what happened next.
I have never spilled this like this.
That's good. I'm glad you're comfortable. Now listen here.
You're crazy.
No, the community's gonna be behind you, and it's not just the black communities. There are community of supporters that are just like, listen, enough is enough. This is about human decency. So you have all of those folks behind you. Now, Orangey, also known as...
Call him Mr. President. We have to respect him.
I'll let April do that. And
No, seriously, it's about respect to that office, because when people were disrespecting Barack Obama, President Barack Obama, I said the same thing. We've got to respect him.
You know
it's
that
about
I
the
love
office.
you, and I'm not going to
it's about the
agree with you
office.
on
It's not
this.
the... I know.
But
It's about the office, not the person.
You know the Deborah Cox song? How did you get here? Anyway, here goes this. Here goes this little interaction, and we're gonna play the real footage.
You making me spill my...
Don't spill.
Are you gonna include the CBC, Mr. President, in your conversations with your urban agenda, your inner city agenda, as well as...
Am I going to include
Are
who?
you going to include the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional
Well, I
Hispanic
would. I
Caucus,
tell you what. Do you want to
as well
set
as
up
on
the meeting? Do you want to set up the meeting?
Do you want to set up the meeting?
Nope.
And it's so disrespectful because your job as a journalist is not to schedule for the president. I think that was your old friend's job, right? Omarosa's job was to set up a meeting with the CBC.
If you want to be technical, yes, it is.
But it's not your job, right?
It's not my job, but it's her job.
Somebody that works at the White House job. And so in one instance...
But I tell you what, she got a hold of them within 2 hours. Because I got a call that she called them.
She also sent a letter where she signed herself, the Honorable Omarosa, and she put the address block for the chairman at the bottom of the letter. But I digress. The point that I'm raising is that it's not your role to set up a meeting with for any congressional
officials
office,
are
any
honorable
caucus.
and judges are honorable. Was she elected?
No, but here's the thing. When you are in that role, see, this is about the respecting the office too. You are known as the honorable. You just don't sign the letters that way yourself. That doesn't normally happen. You're addressed that way in things that come
was
into
she elected?
Bro,
Was she a judge?
She can't be
I
honorable.
don't care.
But wait, so
I tried to see, this is bad. I don't like throwing shade on anyone or any woman. But you know what? When you try to kill me in my career because you want to advance yourself,
I understand.
because you are now making money after not making money from selling cell phones, and now you're making $180,000. Good for you. But you know what? Karma comes back.
It does. You reap what you sow. That's
and you know
Bible
what?
too.
But you know what? And I told her, and I said, you know what? The sad thing about it is, I said, no one likes you. I said, I've got more goodwill in my finger. I shouldn't be. Let me shut up.
So okay, we'll go to the last one.
But I'm gonna tell you something. I've got congressional leaders who are talking about testifying if it comes to that on my behalf.
April, your character and your integrity are flawless. Like not to be questioned.
Everybody knew this. Everybody knew this.
You
You knew this. I'm sure you heard about it.
This is why.
And the child was talking about dossiers.
Yeah.
Me and one of our mutual friends who doesn't want to believe it.
Lord.
You know who I'm talking about.
I don't
You're not in it now. Now you.
No, because now I want to do the Sean Spicer. So of course we know that Spicy is no longer there. But Sean Spicer also had a moment with you just a month later. April couldn't catch a break, y'all. She couldn't catch a break. So
what the devil uses for evil, God uses for good.
And talk about the good, because
6 months and a day he couldn't take it. Bye.
Okay, here's Sean Spicer.
With all of these investigations, questions of what is, how does this administration try to revamp its image? 2.5 months in, you've got this Yates story today. You've got other things going on. You've got Russia. You've got wiretap, and you've got...
No, we don't have that. I know.
On Capitol Hill.
No, I get it, but you keep... I've said it from the day that I got here until whatever, that there is no connection. You've got Russia. If the president puts Russian salad dressing on his salad tonight, somehow that's a Russian connection. But every single person, I appreciate your agenda here, but the reality is, hold on. No, at some point, report the facts. The facts are that every single person who has been briefed on this subject has come away with the same conclusion. Republican, Democrat, so I'm sorry that disgusts you. You're shaking your head. I appreciate it, but understand this, that at some point the facts are what they are. And every single person who has been briefed on this situation with respect to the situation with Russia, Republican, Democrat, Obama appointee, career, have all come to the same conclusion. At some point, April, you're going to have to take no for an answer.
So this was the moment where, like, I already couldn't take it with the Omarosa situation, couldn't take it with the Donald Trump situation, asking you to set up the meeting. But Sean Spicer in the press briefing room, like, he had no idea what was coming for him. And not just black folks, women, young people, other journalists everywhere, like, okay, full stop, enough is enough. Like,
NAACP.
April's character is unimpeachable, speaking of impeachment. Hillary Clinton.
I was like, let me say this. Okay, so I'm dealing with the residue of Omarosa, dealing with the residue of President Trump. And I told some people, I said, I don't know, I might need to rethink being here. You know, because I'm like, I'm tired. No, this was actually that weekend. I said, I don't know. I said, maybe it's time, because I said, I didn't sign up for this. I said, these people are different. You know, it's one thing to have retaliation, but this is just
to a whole different level.
A whole different level. And yeah, see, you know, I'm like, you know, I'm a journalist. I'm doing what I have to do. And, you know, Omarosa was running around telling Sean, don't call on her, don't call on her. So, and not only that, you know, there were some things that had happened. They were like, you should, on Twitter, the trolls, well, Sean Spicer, you shouldn't call on her. I'm not his base. And then I had another little reporter who will remain nameless, was talking about the only reason why you get called on is because you're black. I'm like, girl, I lit her up. Trust me.
Good.
She never heard words that I gave her. And I mean, people were like, I couldn't believe. I'm saying to myself, here I am doing my job.
That's it.
I am specialty media. I am not ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC. I'm not.
Well, you're CNN now, but
I'm saying, but at that time,
yeah, sure.
I'm specialty media, and you want to throw shade at me? So I said, I must be getting under their skin. I must be relevant. So. And see, again, I go and just do what I do. I don't think about it in the standpoint, I do this and this happens. I don't. I just do what I do.
Yeah.
I have 2 kids. I'm a divorced mom. I do what I do to sustain my children. I got a kid I got to put in college in 4 years. So I'm not looking at it as, you know, ambition or doing this. I'm just trying to keep it moving, keep it going. But then you have people who are trying to tear you down. How do you fight that? Just stand.
And staying focused. And you've done such an amazing job at doing that. And the one thing that I love about all 3 of these moments, I hate that you went through them and it got you to the point where you question whether or not you should still be there, because we need you there.
Well, I'm over it. I'm over that. I'm over that.
But that validation. So it's funny how, you know, the things that come along to try us and to test us often become the things that are our strengths. So I think that's amazing, because there is a whole new generation of folks who know you now and know what you represent for us.
But I've been doing it for 20 years.
No, but you can have look at Congresswoman Waters.
I know.
Like now they're like, ooh, Auntie Maxine.
No, but Auntie Maxine, honey, she was beating people up during the Clinton years. She's been around. She's a soldier.
She's been doing this.
But see, here's my thing. And I had to have girlfriends talk to me, because I said, you know, it's sad that I said, I don't know how to handle this. I said, you know, people like April. And I said, I go to the market and they come up and talk about it. I said, I hate the jokes. But they said, think about this. They said, you've gotten this notoriety because of, you know, the bad situation, but look at what it's done. It's exposed of. I said, okay. I said, looking at it like that, but, you know, sometimes you got to get out of yourself to see yourself.
Yes.
And, you know, I'm not one. I'm still April. I just don't like a lot of the attention for that.
I understand.
Because I am not that. And people are like, how do you keep moving? But you know how I keep moving? It's something my mother always told me. It's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. I don't answer to that mess.
Yeah.
I don't answer. Shaking my head, I dropped my head, and he just was. And after a while, I just started shaking. I was like, oh my God, you have just lost your mind. And it was a bad moment. And we talked about it. I'm not getting into that because that's going to be the book. But,
Shout out to the book that's coming that doesn't have a title yet that I want to be called.
it's got
Y'all's
a title,
President.
but you just don't know.
All right.
But no, the reason why, one of the reasons why I can stand and keep moving and know it's not about me, I was given the greatest apology for the same thing from Robert Gibbs during the Obama years with the Salahis. He said, I apologize. He said, I had to make you look crazy to be loyal to the former social secretary. I said,
Wow.
And I knew that. But how do you stand when you see it? You can call it for what it is and move on. And I see it. I see what it's all about. It's about their effort to discredit a journalist. See, what they thought was I was a black woman.
Journalism too.
Yes.
Like
but
you
wait a
were
minute,
just one
right.
other example.
But see, they go after Jim Acosta, but Jim Acosta's got CNN, international news behind him. But they thought they can pick me because
Absolutely,
a
they
little
did.
black woman from a little specialty media, little black network, but they didn't realize that black woman is strong. She is almost half a century old, and she's been here, done that, got a T-shirt,
And
worn it,
folks
and
got
washed
your
it.
back.
And folks got my back. I didn't realize that night after that happened, I heard you were like, beep, 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 beep on the air. I was like, huh?
That means something good.
It was, yeah. It was. I heard you were on the air. I heard Cornell Brooks, former head of the NAACP. I was like, what? I heard Jeffrey Lord tried to say something. I was like, oh, whatever. And
Jeffrey, come on, Jeffrey.
But I heard people were like, bip, bip, bip in my. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then I saw Twitter going off. I was like, what?
But that's when
black women at work.
When your character will speak for you, you don't have to say anything.
That drive home from D.C. to Baltimore, I said, dang, on it. It was a long ride. I didn't get home till about 8 o'clock. I get home and Ryan Williams from NBC calls me. He says, sis, how you doing? I said, I'm all right. He said, did you know Hillary says? I said, Hillary said what? I said, about me?
Uh-huh.
And my children, and see, the crazy thing about it is, whatever it was before that, my oldest daughter's in current events class, and she emails me from school, Mommy, are you okay? Because she heard about the Donald Trump thing. I said, baby, I'm great. How are you? My children worry about me. So I said, before someone gets to them, when I got home at 8 o'clock, I said, girls, come into the office. They came into my office and said, I want to show you something. And my oldest daughter said, I don't like this. And Gracie was like, my baby was like, I don't like it either. I said, it's okay. She said, I just don't like that. Because they don't want to see their mom berated or talked down to like that. But I said, I got something for you. And these children who don't know my political persuasion, because they think that I'm a Republican because I want to interview Donald Trump, which I really do want to interview Donald Trump.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, they think, you're a Republican, but they are ride or die Hillary Clinton fans. So I said, but I know Hillary Clinton too, but you want to interview Donald Trump.
They're hot with you about that.
They're hot about that. So I'm glad, because my children have big mouths. I don't tell them my politics or anything. But that night I said, look, but here, I want you to see this. They're like, Hillary!
Oh
They were
my
like,
God.
fist up. They were like, oh my gosh. And they were so
like,
happy.
resist, y'all.
Yeah, they were happy. But I had to let them know because I didn't want them to be hurt in the street. I wanted to let them get it out. But I did get a chance to talk to Sean. I said, I'm going to tell you something. He said, well, I'm not.
That's always bad when it starts from a sister. Let me tell you something. That's
I said,
not
but we had a conversation, but I said, let me tell you something. There's collateral damage. I said, I got a death threat for allegedly shaking my head. My company got it. It was from me and my boss, from a retired military person.
Oh my God.
And yes, and he spelled it out, death from above and all sorts of stuff. And we had to call the FBI. We had to call Secret Service. I had to call police in my area.
That is insane.
Oh, it is, because I allegedly shook my head. And the person was talking about, I'm tired of black people raping and doing this. I said, what? And crime, oh yeah, and how I'm not this and I'm not, oh, it was bad. And my boss was like, I want you to hear this. I said, you need to take this seriously. It came in on the company website. I said, you need to take this seriously. I said, what if something would have happened to you or me? And I'm like, how did they get his? I said, nobody knows you. I said, So they lumped both of us in.
Yeah, sure.
So then my children's school, they saw it and they said, we need to rally around the kids. And they said, because if something happens, we want to make sure they're okay. And all the principals of each division were like, she's engaged with those kids. She's already told them, but we got it. But they let the head of the school know she's good.
Yeah.
You know, the kids are going to be good. And they were. So, and my oldest daughter would come home and say, Mommy, so-and-so's mother said you're her hero and blah, 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 blah.
I love it.
So I'm like, you know, it is what it is.
But we're in this time where journalism is questioned, you know, where there's this new concept called an alternative fact. I feel like I remember fake news. I remember
enemy of the people,
the turning
opposition
point
party
during the general election, going into the general election during the debate season. The debate commission decided that they no longer needed the moderators of the debate to fact check the candidates. Do you remember that?
Yep. I love the fact checking.
But they told them that they didn't need to do it. That wasn't their role. And to me, that was a turning point for what folks expected of journalists. But you didn't turn. You stayed true to the meaning of fact checking and calling people on their stuff, which I think is awesome, because there's some folks that didn't, that stayed there and said, okay, well, it won't be our role.
And
we'll leave it up to the pundits to fight it out.
The crazy thing, during the Clinton years, I did the same thing. During the Bush years, people were screaming but Bush and I had a really good relationship, And Obama, people thought I hated Obama. I was like, I don't hate Obama. I said, I'm doing my job.
That's right.
But this group can't take it. They're giving us enough to question. I mean, just on the face of it. Just on the face of it.
Yeah, and you had mentioned earlier, you said that you didn't need to get a lawyer because you didn't do anything wrong. How many of their staff now have lawyers? They are thoroughly lawyered
How
up.
about that?
Cash me outside. How about that? So anyway.
How about that? And I'm not talking about I need a pardon. I'm not talking about,
when you got to pardon yourself.
My company stands 2,000% behind me, flat-footed. Oh, and speaking of your girl, after that fight,
why she got to be my girl?
Anyway,
It's your president and your girl.
But you said you made headlines. Just because she's our color don't mean she's our
No,
kind.
I said all our skin folk ain't our kinfolk. Didn't I said that on the Essence panel? You were sitting right there.
Did you say that?
Yes.
Oh, yes,
I
she
did.
So look, so let me tell you what she did. I deflated her ego so much so she got on the phone and called my boss. Oh yes, close your eyes, Angela. Her eyes was where. Bing! Anyway, my boss said to me,
"You gonna have me tweeting April Ryan?"
Tweet, baby. Tweet. My boss called me and said, "Well," so he said, I got a car." So okay, he said, and I wasn't, because I've told him every step of the way.
Sure,
I have nothing to hide. And he said, while she was running off, he said, "I'm gonna stop you there." He said, "April's told me everything. I know everything." He said, "If you two are really, really friends, you go out and have a drink." Now, you know I don't drink, but he said, you go out for a drink. She said, "The boss doesn't like for us to drink." So, and that was that day that happened. So she called right away. Wow. So, but you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Karma. She tried to, that's not a friend. She was never my friend to do that. If I was your friend, when her sister died, I was there for her. When she, we talked to each, but I'm gonna tell you something. When Michael died, if somebody is your friend, you would not stab them in the back, try to take their job. She knows I've got 2 children. She knows I'm divorced. She knows I live here. I'm not rich. I'm not rich. I'm not from, I call it like the Flintstones got rocks.
What?
I'm not from got rocks, I'm a woman who's just trying to just make sure that I have a house, a roof over my head, my children are fed, I got gas in the car to go to work.
And do your job with integrity. So, I think you've spoken volumes, and I said already you've been such a hero to us.
You didn't know this stuff.
I did not know this stuff. But
see, and all you focusing on, y'all was screaming, y'all. You didn't realize the depths.
No, but I didn't mind that you were screaming. I was happy because I was like, oh, maybe now April understand why I was so mad. I wasn't here for it. But I want to thank you for spending so much time with me. We had a ball on the Essence panel that we were just talking about. That was like our Super Soul Sundays moment. And I wish everybody would be able to see that footage, but April has a job to do, y'all. She's a multitasking boss journalist with 2 babies.
Yeah.
And we just thank you for your time. And this is the Conversate segment of On One with A-Rye. And April Ryan is our lovely guest, the queen of media for us. And we thank you for how well you represent us. She FaceTime with somebody.
My daughter FaceTime me, and I think the one
We
that
done,
can't.
y'all. We out.
I know.
We gonna leave that in there too.
Claiming my time. Yes, I am. My time.